Hello everybody, it is Brooklyn and Dakota. We are going to be explaining exactly what our birth plan, sort of birth plan is, and why we're doing that. We may make that part of our birth plan, I don't know. If Dakota doesn't pass out.
Oh, I will not pass out.
Right now, I am in my third trimester. I think I'll be like 32 or 33 weeks when this video goes live. If you don't know, 40 weeks is usually your due date.
And then they say like first time pregnancies is like 41 and 1, right?
Yeah, so you usually go over when it's your first pregnancy, but you can have the baby basically safely anytime after 37 weeks.
We're close.
We're close. Everyone tells you you need to have a birth plan. Basically, that just means you need to have an idea of what you want. There's not like any kind of outline or like specific things you have to have in a birth plan. It's just you have to have an idea of what you want so that in case of an emergency or like the baby comes sooner than you're planning or whatever, you have it all written down somewhere so that like a doctor or a representative can like read your desires. This is kind of our very rough birth plan. Some things are probably still gonna change, but for now, this is kind of what we're thinking and what we want for the baby.
For us, we want something like that's not medicated, something like a birthing center.
In the US, I know it's like very traditional to go with an OBGYN, which is like a doctor, and give birth in the hospital with pain medication. I know outside of the US, it's not as common. It's more common to do a midwife and unmedicated. A midwife is still medically certified in a lot of departments, but they're not like a surgeon. Sometimes they're not doctors. They can sometimes be just nurses or even just medically trained, called midwifery. Like you get like a certification in midwifery.
We did a lot of like research. We toured a lot of places.
Yeah.
And we found one that we loved.
Yeah.
She was like phenomenal.
The reason we picked an unmedicated birth was because
we learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot, and I don't have anything, like medicine is phenomenal. Medicine is a blessing. Like I am not against the hospital or a hospital birth or an epidural in any way. I just think that I had the mentality that I wanted to let my body do what it could do. And only allow medical interventions when necessary. And so I didn't want to have unnecessary medical interventions, which meant if I could give birth naturally, perfectly fine, then I was gonna try. You have to have an open mindset when it comes to, you know, emergencies and things changing and ending up in the hospital.
It's not 100%, but that's what we're shooting for.
We have a physician on staff that's at the hospital that's affiliated with our midwife. So like worst case scenario, if I ended up in an emergency C-section, we would be totally fine. But part of doing an unmedicated labor is on top of a midwife who is like my doctor and the baby's doctor. I have a doula. They're not doctors or even nurses.
They specialize in like your body positions.
Yeah.
Getting your body prepped, right?
What do they call like mind body something or
I don't know.
I can't remember. Ours has like a bunch of certifications, but basically what they are is like the ultimate
coach, maybe?
Coach. Yeah, like a coach is a good way of putting it. Like a labor coach.
Especially for like me too.
Yeah.
Coach for me.
Yeah. Well, I go to the midwife the same amount of times you would go to your OB, and I have like regular appointments with them, and they check on the baby and the baby's heart rate and all the same things that a regular doctor would do. The doula is a little bit different. She is somebody who more coaches us on how to prepare my body for labor, how to prepare Dakota for labor.
Like what I can do to help Brooklyn.
Yeah, like when the time comes.
And you don't think about it until like she started going over these things. You're like, yeah, that's important too.
Yeah.
There's so many little things.
Also, because it's unmedicated, no, I am not doing birth at home. I am doing birth at a birthing center, which is basically if you have a scale, here's home, here's hospital, and it's in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's basically like,
homey.
It's designed like a bedroom.
Yeah.
It has, like I said, a lot of like the doctor's machines and stuff like that. Or like they have like laughing gas if your pain is really bad at the birthing center, but like you don't have that at home. So there's different things that they have there that they can facilitate and they can give you that you don't have at home. The birthing center that we have has a tub, like a big tub. So when we originally toured it, I was thinking that I would probably try to do a water birth. So that is part of our birth plan.
Yeah, our goal.
I've heard that being in water can help reduce your pain levels and also reduce your chances of tearing. We've had a couple of friends that wanted to do water births, and then like, you know, the baby just comes sometimes faster than you expect it to, and you don't end up in the water.
The water's not ready for
like, because you have to fill the tub, it has to be a certain temperature. I am not like dead set on a water birth.
No.
I would be okay birthing on my hands and knees, I think.
Yeah, I mean, she can do any position she wants.
Yeah.
And they were showing us positions, so you don't have to be on your back or longer.
That's true, that's true. That's part of being unmedicated is like you get the opportunity to pick how you want to give birth, like in what position. Once baby is born, this is a very important part of our birth plan.
Is that we get mommy daddy time.
It's called skin to skin.
Skin to skin, yeah.
And that basically means you are the first person to hold your baby, touch your baby. You obviously like to have your top off and you put the baby on your skin. So it's like their skin on your skin. It can be mom or dad or both.
For 2 hours, right?
Yeah. And our midwife called it the golden, like the two golden hours.
That's the time I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. No, I feel like the time Dakota's gonna cry is like when he comes out and I put him on my chest. That first like 5 seconds is he's gonna be like, ah.
Yeah, tissue.
If everything else about our birth plan changes, skin on skin is not changing. When it comes to family, we have, I mean, we don't really have a specific
we still
plan, but we do know his parents probably aren't gonna be here.
Yeah, they kind of want to come like a few weeks after so they can help us.
Yeah, so
because they have to fly here, so they're not too close.
Even if they could get tickets, they may not even get here in time for the birth. Tentatively right now, part of our birth plan is that I don't think right now we want anybody but us in the delivery room.
It's just like something special for us.
And then of course, as soon as baby's born, everyone's more than welcome to come in, but nobody touches him except for us for 2 hours. Everyone's gonna be dying to hold him, I know it, but mom and dad first, mom and dad first. Oh, I forgot to say this earlier. Part of our birth plan is also to labor at home as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because we're doing birth at a birth center, we still have to obviously go there just like you would for a hospital. But because it's unmedicated, they highly encourage that you labor at home in your comfort zone for as long as possible. They recommend that you almost don't come in until you're like 7-8 centimeters dilated. Like you only go to the birthing center when you're gonna have the baby. So 17 to 24 hours is like labor, like you're having contractions. The actual time when you're like pushing
it's still
is only like a handful of hours. It's only like 2 to 3 hours of pushing. And the doula will come to your home, by the way, for anyone who's wondering. She will come to your home and labor with you at home and then move to the birthing center with you to meet your midwife. This is not really part of our plan, but I'll tell you anyway. I like decided on what I was gonna give birth in, like what outfit I was gonna give birth in, which I never thought would be a thing, but it totally is. I literally bought this like nightgown.
Perfect.
Off Amazon, and it's perfect. First of all, it's loose. So comfortable. Yeah. It's loose.
Stretchy, wasn't it?
Yeah, super stretchy, and like because it's a dress, you have easy access. Like baby can come out in a dress, and I also can pull the sleeve off really easily and nurse.
What am I wearing?
Nothing. I told Dakota, like, if I have to get naked to give birth, does that mean you have to get naked?
No, fetch no. I'll take my shirt off.
An important part of our birth plan is you being a part of it.
I feel like I am a big part of it. Like all the little things like they're having me do and stuff like that. So.
Well, and you want to be involved
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to catch him. They've given me the option to. I'm like more of like where you want me.
Yeah, agreed.
Like pay attention to you, or you know, being down there.
I think it'd be cool if Dakota caught the baby.
It would be freaking cool.
That's on the table. That's an undecided birth plan.
I could do it.
Like you can even decide in the room when it's happening if you want to catch him. We may make that part of our birth plan. I don't know. If Dakota doesn't pass out.
I will not pass out. I will catch.
If Dakota doesn't pass out, then he may catch the baby. Another thing that we are doing is I think we're gonna not name him till he comes.
Yep.
So we have 2 names that we have settled on. Part of like our plan is to see him. I think after those 2 hours of like skin on skin time,
they will have our name.
Then we'll be able to put the name on the birth certificate.
But it's so crazy. Like you don't think about how important names are. I mean, we talked about it in our last video.
Yeah.
It's just a huge thing.
It's a huge decision. It's kind of stressful, TBH.
We'll have those 2 hours to really like stare at it.
Yeah, be like, who are you? And then part of giving birth at a birth center is after you give birth, they only keep you there for a handful of hours.
And then you go
and then they send you home, which is so crazy because in the hospital, you usually stay for a good amount of time. If everything looks good, if you look good, if baby looks good, they'll send you home. The midwife and the doula will come check on us 2 days after we gave birth at home. They'll come to our home.
Come home and rest.
And they'll do like a lactation consult and all that kind of stuff 2 days after. Yeah, like he said, they say sleep.
Sleep before.
Sleep
try
after.
To sleep during it, even though it's hard.
because it's just a big life event and you don't have the energy to do it if you don't sleep. Obviously, there's a lot more details to be ironed out, and there's some information that we probably won't share with the internet on some of the other decisions that we make. But this is the kind
We're
of
excited.
This is the general idea of our birth plan.
Yeah, we're excited for it. We like it.
Let me know if you want to see how I'm preparing for labor. Yeah, my stretches.
We want to see them.
Dakota likes to see
yes,
them.
I do.
Let me know if you want to see how I'm preparing for labor video, because that might be really interesting. Thank y'all for watching,
See ya.
and we'll see you next week.